Okay. This is my second time I've live streamed into this group, I think, and I'm still learning the tech stuff. So, it sounds silly. You'd think at this point I would be a little more tech savvy, but, I'm acclimating. So happy new moon, everybody. So much has happened and I want to know what's happening with you guys. I really do. I want to have more of a dialogue. I've really appreciated those of you that have shared your new story transformation in this group. I think I went back and counted. I want to say there's been at least 7 or 9 people that have shared. If you haven't got a chance to read their new stories, it's amazing. Just go ahead and scroll down on this page. It's really touched my heart to, witness and continue to witness people that have gone through this journey and this transformation. So thank you so much. If more of you that have gone through it feel called to share, of course, I always encourage that. As part of Yothera Method, in phase 3, it's all about being seen. And what an edge that is for most of us, is really being seen in our authenticity and being seen with a completely open heart without any kind of agendas. I even feel it in my body now. It's just, there's such an edge to it. So thank you guys so much for being willing to show up in this way. So I felt called to share a little bit about what's been happening with myself personally, because whenever I share personally, it seems to resonate with so many people. And there's also an element of us not feeling alone, right? When we can be like, okay, I'm not crazy, or, oh, that's happening to me too, right? So I just wanted to share, and it's in relation to this work that each one of you that's in this group, I believe and I feel is called to, which is the work of transformation and personal transformation, personal growth. And I just want to speak to that for a moment. There's a difference between change and transformation. Now, the work that I was doing as a therapist really was focused primarily on change. And there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely nothing. And it was what I was taught in school. It was really, for me, from my personal experience, it was a collection of what I had learned and been programmed, if you want to call it that, but all of the cerebral, I guess, programs, if you want to call it that, but what I was taught, right? And I was helping people change. However, change for me now is like A to B. And that's awesome. We all need to be doing that. But it tends to only involve one part of the person, right? Like, I want to be better at communication, or I want to be better at, whatever that is. It's like, I think of it as goals, and we can't heal the mind with the mind. We just can't. It's a blind spot. We can't heal the mind with the mind. And so, as I know many of you know, my work has transformed into more transformational work, which involves all parts of the person. And if you're listening to this, my guess is that you resonate with transformation more than you do with just change. And so transformation involves all parts of a person. It involves their body, their mind, their soul or spirit, whatever word you want to call that, that's your own personal journey. Their bigger self, their higher self. And in Yothera Method, we call it the innocent. And that's more of an emptiness with that. It's not of, we talk about writing new stories, but really we're talking about becoming more empty of stories, because the innocent is I am. It's just I am. And you are. And then there's no judgment, there's no duality. So transformation involves all parts of the person. And what I've been going through personally has been transformative. So I want to share a little bit. My partner and I went on a 3-week road trip to California, and it was an amazing trip. It was for his birthday. And we did that for a big part of September. And my intention in going on this trip was to surrender And I know there's an edginess around surrendering, that even that word, can bring some stuff up for people, and myself included. So what I mean by surrender is a willingness to be empty, a willingness to get out of the way, get out of my own way, and to really trust that my higher self, my soul, whatever word you want to put to that, has a plan. And I need to just surrender and get out of the way and listen and create enough space so that I can hear, so that I can see the next steps of this plan that's already laid out so clearly. And whether or not you ascribe to this, it's all good. This is more me sharing my journey. So my belief is that there is a plan that's already kind of laid out, and there's key pieces, there's key players, and I just need to get out of the way, basically. So my intention was to do that. And before we left on this trip, my low back was starting to get a little bit touchy. So I have experienced in the past some chronic low back issues, and that has been more of a hassle for me in the past than it has been a learning experience or a healing edge. And I would say that this trip and what occurred after this trip with my back has allowed me to step into the deeper healing and transformational aspect of what's really been going on with me. And it's been a blessing, because when your back goes out, which is what happened to me, I literally couldn't walk some days. When your back goes out, you are forced. It's a forced surrender. So my intention was to surrender, and boom, I got it. And it was almost like my higher self knew that that's what was needed for me to kind of get out of the way. And it worked. It has been really difficult. It's been difficult on so many levels. It's brought up so much of my fear of, it's brought up fears that I didn't even know were there. This fear of abandonment, this fear of, what if I'm not in alignment, and therefore I can't, assist other people in getting in alignment? What if there's something wrong with me? What if this never goes away? What if all those old stories, what if I won't be taken care of? What if I can't work? Right? Like, what am I going to do? Like, there was so much. I mean, it was big pain body, lots of shadow, lots of old stories came up for me and are continuing to come up, but I've cleared a lot of them. So, it's been a couple of weeks since we got back, and this last couple of weeks have been extremely difficult. So when we got back is when I was able to get in to see a doctor, chiropractor, craniosacral work. And as many of you know, with healing is when you start to give it attention, you start to give it a voice, you start to pay attention to it. At first, it sometimes gets louder. And there's this almost like this tyrant, like these years of oppressed or suppressed emotions, or not listening to a part of myself, whatever that is, it came out, because now there was space, and now there was this opening and a willingness to be with it in a way that I didn't even know consciously I was avoiding. So it's been difficult, and that's how we know we're healing. That's when we know we're on track, is when things start to fall apart. And again, that's just my opinion. That's been my experience, I should say. It's not just an opinion. That's been my experience, is that healing starts happening when things start falling apart. And so I wanted to give you a context for what I've been going through. And as I've been bringing more of my offerings into the world in an embodied, tangible way, my energy field and my body have to grow to meet what I'm pulling in, what I'm pulling through. And I know many of you can relate to that, as you're growing or creating new things in the world, taking next steps in the world on your path. Sometimes the body is like, whoa, I gotta stretch and grow too. And so maybe a health issue shows up. maybe a psychological issue comes up, maybe a shadow shows up. There's all these different ways. So if you have been experiencing that, I just wanted to normalize it and personalize it, that you are on track. You're right on track. And my hope is that you're clearing as much as I'm clearing, or that you're clearing what you need to be clearing so that you can have space to bring in whatever is next on your path. And so being a new moon, today, I guess it's technically tomorrow, but we're within the window, right? This is such a great time to surrender. And I know a lot of new moons, we talk about setting new intentions and, like being more active, right? Like, I'm going to set this intention, I'm going to set this goal and all that stuff. But this one feels more like pause, get out of the way, surrender, and just be with what is. And to me, that feels like the energy to be working with for myself today. So in regards to the next level offerings that I would like to be, bringing out to the world, I don't like launches. You know how some people like to launch things and there's this whole buildup and then there's this early bird, and I've tried that on, and sometimes maybe I'll do that in the future. I'm not sure, but it feels more authentic to me to just let you know what I'm available for. And then if it's in alignment, whoever's meant to work with me will. It won't be because I sent 5 emails and posted 8 times. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of falling away. And I just really feel like people that are meant to connect with me will connect at the perfect time. So this next level offering that I'd like to let you know is available for you is an on-demand course. On-demand meaning you purchase the course and then it's completely self-study. So it's you can go at your own pace, and you're also connected. Obviously, you're in this community already, but as you're going through the course, you're connected to this community. So you can ask questions, and people that have gone through it in the past can kind of answer questions, and you'd have access to me as well. And as you're going along, as you're going through this journey. And it's called Embody Your New Story. And there's 10 modules, and it's, again, self-paced. So this is the group that I used to run live. And I might still run another one live, but I'm not totally sure on that yet. There's some other things in the works that might need to get some priority over that. I'm called more to do more like 1 to 2 day, like Yothera immersions that are just kind of, a taste of it, and see, like have more of those happen. But for those of you that want to go through the full Yothera method, the 3 phases, the mind, the body, and then being seen, like that's really those are the phases. It's about a 10-week journey. If you really do it the way that it's meant to be done, it's about 10 weeks. And some people would take longer because there's a lot. There's so much to do. There's daily practices. There's, embodiment tools. There's writing prompts. There's heart coherence practices. There's sound. There's videos, like so many, like videos, and there's also a whole manual as well that goes with it. So you can print it. You have your whole manual. I mean, it's dialed in. And I'm so excited to finally have this as an offering for people. And I wanted to do this because there's so many of you. I've had tons of emails from healthcare workers, therapists, other people that are like, I don't have time. I can't make Tuesday nights. I can't go to your Tuesday night group. I can't, I just can't make that time work, but I really want to experience your work, And so this was the way that I felt like I could bridge and offer my work to more people, and also be able to make it so you can do it at your own pace. And then if you feel called to work with me one-on-one, after that or during that process, then we can figure that out. But this is really the foundation at this point of my work. as far as Yothera method goes. The other beautiful thing about this is it provides CEUs, which are continuing education credits. Just by doing this on-demand course, you're going to get 15 CEUs. And it's not just for therapists, like physical therapists, massage therapists, teachers, occupational therapists. There's a lot of people, psychologists. I mean, there's doctors even are covered. So you also don't have to get the CEUs. You can just go through the course because you're a human being and you're interested in transformation and you want to take your own personal journey to a new level. So it's meant to be a bridge. It's meant to be this bridge for everybody, yoga teachers, yoga therapists, all the people. So I'm going to put a link to this video so you can check it out if you want to. Before I do that, though, I'd like to kind of show you, let me share my screen with you real quick. I want to show you the back end. So if you were to go ahead and say yes to that and you want to purchase it, give me just a second. I got to get my, here we go, tech. I want to show you what it looks like so that it'll make it tangible for you. Let's see, here we go. Okay. So it looks like this. Let me share my screen. So if you were to say, yeah, I want to try it. I want to try this course. When you log in, I mean, you'll see, resume course over here. That's because I've kind of gone through it again myself. I'm 77% through. But you've got preparing for your journey, right? Here's kind of like module 1, if you will. It's not module 1, it's a pre-module, actually, the first module. And then you've got 4 kind of sub lessons within the module. So you've got preparing for your journey, start here. There's a video, there's expectations, there's how to do like an intentions embodiment practice, how to set your space and how to prepare. I mean, it's a combination of video and worksheets and exercises, things like that. So preparing for your journey is a whole module. Then you've got phase 1, which is the mind. Phase 1, you've got the fire within, which is phase 1, module 1, the fire within. Phase 1, module 2 is deep waters. Phase 1, module 3 is discernment, right? So all of phase 1, as you see here, we're working with the mind, and there's 3 modules. And then within each 3 modules, there's these little mini lessons within each one. So again, each one of these lessons is either a video of me going over a PowerPoint, or it's an audio recording of me guiding you through practices, embodied practices, free writing practices, breath work, things like that. So every single one of these has an embodied practice, and then it has a teaching to it. And every single one of them has homework as well. Okay. So then you've got phase 2 is embodiment, right? Not EM, but IN, embodiment. And then you've got your module 4, module 5, module 6 with all of its lessons. And then phase 3 is the elixir, also called being seen. Being seen as gold. So this is how you integrate it. So phase 3 has got 3 modules. So module 7, module 8, module 9. So altogether, there's 9 modules within these 3 phases. And then you've got this whole prepping module here. So it's super supportive. And then on the side, let's see if I can click into one of these. I don't dare, just because I'm live streaming. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what it looks like, so you can see something tangible. Let me stop sharing. So I just wanted to show you that. And again, those of you that choose to go through it, you'll have the opportunity to receive mentorship from me. And I don't know the details on that yet, but just understand that if you want to work with me individually, I would like you to have an understanding of Yothera method. So if you've already gone through it, if you've already done the 10-week groups with me, if you've done, you know, I know some of you have done mentorship with me in the past, but this would be kind of the next step, is go through this evergreen journey and then begin to connect with me in that way, connect more with the community in that way, first and foremost. Something else I want to add before I sign off for today is just more of an acknowledgement of the bypassing of the linear mind that's happening for me. Many of you have had insight sessions with me in the past. An insight session, you could call it an Akashic Records reading. You could call it, you know, tapping into some, you know, your Akash, but I don't really even like to use that word. It's more of me connecting to your highest version of self, your higher self, and then channeling messages and insights for your healing, for your transformation journey. And it's been really, really fun to do these sessions. The thing that I am really wanting, though, is to be more of a transformation agent, not so much just a change agent. So what that means is, you know, insight sessions will be available for people that are already familiar with Yothera Method. They've, you know, gone through the evergreen or are going through it. So you've purchased it already and you're really wanting to go deeper and you want to do one-on-one work with me. Or if you've gone through the 10-week group already, then I'll be, you know, letting you know details on how to do that. But there needs to be more like of an active process of you're in it, you're transforming, you're doing it. And that's what I've felt called to be available for, you know, as far as this next level is really working with people that are ready to really get to the root and energetically shift, and that I can assist them in being more in alignment and in tune and doing more energy attunement work. That feels more aligned for me. Not to say that we won't be talking and that I won't be pulling from my therapy skills and things like that. Of course I will. But they're not going to be separate anymore. They're not going to be just therapy or just mentorship sessions and then just energy or insight sessions. They're going to be blended. There will be a blending. And again, like, it's not something that it's just something that I feel is necessary as far as me being more in alignment and authentic with what I'm stepping into personally. So I wanted to share that with you. And I also want to leave you on this note. If you've been going through something, if you feel like you're going through this deeper transformation and you're just being called to be still and reflective, that's perfect for right now. And just clearing the clutter feels really resonant for me right now, like clearing the clutter in my body, in my mind, and getting really, really clear before I say yes, or before, you know, making it an aligned yes before moving forward. So if you're feeling that as well, I think we're tapping into the same timeline. So anyway, happy new moon. And thanks again for everyone that shared their new stories. If you have any questions for me, you know, I'm available. You can message me anytime. And if more of you feel called to share in this community, please do. You don't have to just share your new story. If you're here and you want to share in this group of like what's been happening for you, this is a place to do that. You can do a post, you know, or you can comment on or ask questions at any point. So I want this to be a really supportive place. So I'll put a link to this new offering in the comments. And if you guys have any questions for me at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. Happy new moon. Sending lots of love. Bye-bye.